Onto the markets day now. The local market has dipped into the negative today as some banks shed some of their gains from earlier in the week. The price of oil continues to rise, and while it's not good news for petrol, it does reflect that there's a bit of optimism over the global economic recovery. And then the rand also remaining in an improved position against the US dollar. Let's take a closer look at those numbers. Let's break down those numbers now with David Shapiro, who's the Deputy Chairman at Sasfin Securities. David, many thanks for your time this afternoon. Let's start with the overall performance of the JSE. Was it in line with global markets? What are we seeing as the big catalysts in today's trading day?
Markets are taking a bit of a breather. Remember, tomorrow's Thanksgiving in the United States, so the markets are closed. So after the huge gains that we saw yesterday in the US and in global markets, one would expect some kind of profit-taking or a slowdown. And I think that's what we're seeing. Expect the next 2 days to be a little choppy and uncertain with the US closed. You know, on Friday is Black Friday, so I think it's only going to be a half a day in the US, but we'll measure what the appetite is for consumers in the US as they take advantage of bargains. But here it was a pretty flat day, but there were still quite a few features. I think one of the features was the demand for property stocks. So I think with confidence building in the global economy that the vaccines are going to bring an end to the pandemic, and by the end of 2021, we will see the global economy back to where it was in 2019. I think we're starting to see a lot of laggard stocks picking up, and today it was properties chance.
Right, and then I also see the rand holding its own against major global currencies. Is this dollar weakness, or are we seeing some risk on sentiment for emerging market assets?
Both. It is. It's certainly the weaker dollar. But, when the dollar weakens, it means that money flows into other markets. And there certainly is an appetite for emerging markets. We're very fortunate, I think, because we have a sophisticated financial system, and the rand is always used as a proxy for trading in emerging markets. And that's why we see so much flow into the rand. So look, for us, it's exceeded our expectations. We never expected to see the rand at these kind of levels. At best, we saw it at about 15.50 by year end. So I think we can celebrate where we are, and it does have some positive spin-offs, particularly for inflation.
Something else that's also exceeding expectations over the last few days, David, the price of Brent crude picking up quite significantly. I was having a look today. We haven't seen prices close to $50 a barrel in around 3 months.
That's on the expectation that this global economy is going to pick up. And of course, once people get mobile again, they're going to start demanding petrol and gas, or as they call it in the US. I think it's around that. Also, OPEC is keeping production low. So I think they're committed to not increasing production until the economy has recovered. So I think that's one of the big drivers of oil. But it has, again, surprised us. We just hope it can last. I think overall, we prefer to have an oil price around about 50, 60 because of the longer term positive flows, particularly for the producers. So we can live with Brent at around about 50. You can see what it's done to Sasol. Besides Sasol doing deals, selling off its Gemini project and raising more cash to offset debt, I think the positive spin on oil is also pushing the price up there.
All right, Sasol seeing better days indeed, David. Thank you so much for your time. That's David Shapiro, who's the Deputy Chairman at Sasfin Securities.